Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start with our first chapter of science. But before that, let me tell you that your science subject is divided in two parts, as you can see here, part 1 and part 2. I am going to explain you the part 2 of your science subject, which is first term. You can see here first chapter is chapter number 6, classification of plants. So we are going to start with this chapter, classification of plants. Today we are going to start with the introduction part of your chapter, which is classification of plants. As you all know, there are different type of living things on our planet Earth. For example, plants, animals and human beings. Now, among these living things, we are going to learn in detail about plants, how plants are classified into different categories. Now, for understanding the classification of plants into different categories, we have to know some criteria. There are some criteria on the basis of which the plants are classified into different groups. Plants plants have different groups, and there are some reason why this plant belong to a particular group. So what are the reason behind these classification are written over here. As you can see, the criteria for classification of plants. Now these are some criteria written over here. We'll see them one by one. Very first criteria is presence or absence of organs. Now, as you know, plants have different organs. For example, flowers, seed, leaves, stem, roots. These are the different organs of plants. Now, on the basis of this, the plants are classified into different categories. If the plant have if the plant is missing with one of the organs, if the flowers are missing on the plant, then on the basis of that, all the non-flowering plants will be grouped into one category, and all the flowering plant will be grouped into another category. So here, on the basis of presence or absence of an organ, plants are classified into one group. Now next criteria is presence or absence of conducting tissues. Now what are conducting tissues? Conducting tissues are the tissues which carry water or food from the roots to all the part of the plants. These are called conducting tissues. Example of conducting tissues are xylem and phloem. So if the plants have xylem or phloem, or they do not have xylem or phloem, on the basis of that also they are kept in one group and the other group. Now the third criteria of classification are seeds. Presence or absence of seed. Whether the seeds are present in a plant or it is absent in a plant. On the basis of that also the plants are classified into some groups. Now fourth criteria, are seeds enclosed? Now what do you mean by enclosed? Enclosed means seeds are closed. Many fruits you have eaten, you can see that the seeds are enclosed. For example, mango is the best example whether the seeds are closed or not. If you have ate mango, then you can clearly see that we have seed inside a mango, so that seed is enclosed under the fruit, so that is called as enclosed. Some seed are enclosed under the fruit and some seeds are not closed. So on the basis of that also plants are classified into some groups. Now fifth criteria is the number of cotyledons. Now what are cotyledons? Cotyledons are the first leaf of the plant. When plants start growing, the first part which comes out of the land or the soil. So what are cotyledons? Cotyledons are the first leaf which comes out of the plant when the plant starts growing. So that is cotyledons. Now on the basis of cotyledons, whether the cotyledons are single or double, on the basis of that plants are classified into certain groups. Okay, so now we have discussed all the criterias about the classification of plant on the basis of which criteria the plants can be classified into different categories. Now these these all categories were some basic criteria of classification of a plant. Now if we'll see on a higher level of classification, then on the higher level the plants are classified on the basis of flower, fruits and seeds. Now as you can see here, on the presence and absence of flower, fruits and seeds, plants are classified into two basic categories, which are cryptogams and phanerogams. These are the two main basic categories. Now cryptogams, what are cryptogams? What type of plants come under cryptogams? The plants which do not have flower, fruit or seed, means absence of flower, fruit or seeds. Cryptogams contains the plants which do not have fruits or seeds, means fruit and seeds are absent in these categories of plants, so they are grouped into cryptogams. They are called as cryptogams. Now what are phanerogams? Phanerogams are the plants which have flower and seed. Flowers and seeds are present, so those plants will be called as phanerogams. Now as uh, now if we'll talk about cryptogams, first we'll see cryptogams are again divided into three categories. The very first one is thallophyta, second one is bryophyta and the last one is pteridophyta. Now this is about the cryptogams. If we'll talk about phanerogams, then phanerogams are again divided into two categories. On the basis of what? On the basis of the seeds, whether the seeds are opened or the seeds are covered. There are two categories of phanerogams. First is gymnosperms and the second is angiosperm. The gymnosperms include plants which have naked seeds. Naked seed means seeds are not covered, or you can also say seeds are open. So the plants which have open seeds or naked seeds will be termed as gymnosperms, and the plants which have their seeds covered will be categorized into angiosperms. So these are the two categories of phanerogams based on the seeds, naked seeds and covered seeds. Now angiosperm is further divided into two categories, which is monocot and dicot. As we have seen, what are these monocot and dicot? Monocot means single and dicot means double or two. As you know, di means two and mono means single. So based on the number of cotyledons, the angiosperm is divided into two categories. If the plant have single cotyledon, then it will come under monocot. If the plant has two cotyledons, then it will come under dicot. Okay, so it's enough for today. We have done with the introduction part. In the next chapter we'll see in detail about the cryptogams and the categories in which the cryptogams are divided in details. Thank you.